Ghost towns seemed to be the exclusive domain of underdeveloped cities in China's northeast and southwest regions, but now no one should laugh at anyone else. Even economically developed cities like Shanghai are experiencing ghost town phenomena in a rapidly cooling market environment. Shanghai's ghost towns include newly developed areas and old city districts. Let's look at the old city district first.
Can you believe this is an old street in Shanghai? When we think of Shanghai, an international metropolis, bustling, with towering skyscrapers. But look behind me. There's not a soul in sight. All the shops are closed. The ground is the classic cobblestone pavement. In Jiading, Shanghai, I discovered what I consider to be the most desolate, dilapidated, and deserted old street in Shanghai, West Street. It's truly desolate. This old street is quiet and deserted. There's no cooking smoke, no human presence. No matter how good the architecture or how rich the historical heritage, it's all meaningless.
What you see is an ancient street in Shanghai. It was first built during the northern and southern dynasties of China, boasting a history of over 1,500 years. In 1995, it was listed as a historical and cultural preservation area of Shanghai. Next, let's look at this colorful street. Fangbong Middle Road, extremely deserted. Locals are trying to attract foot traffic by painting over the walls. It's adjacent to an abandoned project, the City God Temple Square. Located in a prime urban area, it is a commercial plaza project that has been abandoned for over a decade. Now let's look at the new district. The new district refers to the rapidly rising number of large-scale but uninhabited residential complexes.
整个绿地长岛的面积是 2.35 万亩。
The entire Greenland Long Island project covers 23,500 mu. What does it mean? It's equivalent to the area of 2 Jing'an districts in Shanghai. Pre-sales began in 2015. At the time of pre-sales, the price was around $1,400 per square meter. Now, it's around $500 to $600 per square meter. But nobody's buying. Many speculators from Shanghai, or from other cities across the country, bought units here and suffered complete losses. It's so tragic, you can't bear to look. These condos, it's dangerous. My goodness, what kind of material is this? It's tofu dregs. Now, look at the entire Chongming Island, the Greenland Changdao area. What do you think of the lights in the buildings at night? I was shocked. Looking down from below, the entire building, except for my room, which has lights on, is completely dark. I'm scared to sleep tonight. Based on this ratio, I think the claim of a 1% occupancy rate online is exaggerated. This is the current situation of the Greenland project on Chongming Island. Going out during the day is like walking through a ghost town. At night, I'm even more afraid to go out.
The Greenland Changdao project is located on Chongming Island, China's third largest island. It has now become one of China's well-known ghost towns. This ghost town is located near the mouth of the Yangtze River. Greenland Changdao is a mega project, claiming an investment of nearly $30 billion and an estimated 100,000 units, planned to accommodate over 300,000 people. Judging from the project's name, it seems to be aiming to compete with Long Island, New York. It includes villas and 17-story high-rise condos. The developer is P2-Real Estate, a subsidiary of the Fortune Global 500 company Greenland Holdings. The company acquired the land in 2014. Pre-sales began in 2015, meaning the properties were already on sale while the buildings were still just blueprints. Advertisements at the time used themes like Shanghai, Riverside, European style, and luxury, attracting numerous investors. Over 1,000 units were sold in 2 hours. In reality, Chongming Island is divided into 3 parts. While most of it belongs to Shanghai, some northern areas are part of Jiangsu province. In other words, a Shanghai developer built a project in an area near but not entirely part of Shanghai, creating a project that appeared to be Shanghai-based, ultimately harming buyers from across the country. According to data from Greenland Long Island Homeowners' Rights Protection Report, the occupancy rate is only 1%. Some have even used it to store ashes. This reflects both the reality of a bursting bubble and the decline of Shanghai as a city. A few years ago, Shanghai's housing market was considered the most resilient to price drops, resulting in the very high price which a large number of people unable to afford homes. However, the overall economic environment has changed rapidly, especially with the rapid withdrawal of foreign capital. For nearly 20 years after China joined the WTO in 2001, foreign investment inflows steadily increased, reflecting China's investment attractiveness as the world's factory. However, in the last 3 years, this trend has reversed sharply. Foreign investment in China has repeatedly hit a low point. Data from the third quarter of 2025 was even lower than the period around 1998 to 2001, when China joined the World Trade Organization, WTO. In the first quarter of 2022, China's net outward direct investment reached a record high of $107.2 billion. However, from the second quarter of the same year, foreign capital inflows plummeted to only $37.76 billion, a decrease of over 60% from the previous quarter. In the second and third quarters of 2024, foreign direct investment shrank to negative $14.97 billion and $11.62 billion respectively, indicating that foreign capital, as a whole, not only did not increase investment, but also withdrew its investments, reflecting a decline in trust in China. Although the CCP has attempted to reverse this trend, promising to further open the economy to foreign investment and salvage China's rapidly declining position in the global foreign investment landscape, the government's various measures after the pandemic, including the newly enacted national security law, demonstrate that while China is large, it is too controlled and opaque, making it difficult to fully trust. Therefore, in the past 2 years, China has experienced a record capital flight, with foreign investors withdrawing at a rate unseen in decades. Chao Peng, a middle-class Shanghai resident who previously worked for a foreign company in Shanghai, stated that he witnessed Shanghai's past glory and prosperity and personally experienced the impact of the economic downturn. Foreign companies in Shanghai must constantly navigate the complexities of dealing with the Chinese Communist Party to survive, and their capital is constantly being drained. Chao's former employer is a case in point. It is a French company, ADEN Services, which has been in Shanghai for 20 years. Of its original 100-plus foreign employees, 90% have left.
I heard that recently the boss sold off some of his assets in France to fill the hole in Shanghai. The logic of local governments in China is simple. The word cooperate means that you have to put in more money. The French aren't stupid anymore. I want to operate in Shanghai using the French model, the market model, and make money. If you want me to invest more, I won't. I'll play games with you too. It's a mutual playing, so I'm not optimistic about how long this company can last.
With the withdrawal of foreign capital, Shanghai companies have seen massive layoffs. Amid the wave of unemployment, more and more Shanghainese are facing the predicament of being unable to sell their homes. The decline in resale housing prices is particularly pronounced, with prices in some areas nearly halved. Industry insiders predict that the prices of 80% of Shanghai properties will continue to fall in the future.
Homebuyers in Shanghai used to be looked down upon. Now, it's highly sought after. You can't believe this surreal phenomenon. People who buy condos in 2025 will have 20 years less of struggle compared to those who bought in 2017 when prices were at their peak. Those who emptied the savings of 3 generations to buy homes back then are now burdened with a mountain of debt. They can't sell, they're stuck with them, and they're filled with anxiety. October, Once the peak season for selling houses has become an ice age. Just ask any real estate agent and you'll see nearly 360,000 second-hand homes listed, a historical peak. Homeowners are frantically competing to lower prices, dropping them every day. Some are willing to lose money on the entire down payment and several years' worth of mortgage payments just to get rid of the property quickly, fearing that they'll lose even more if they wait even a day. Back then, you needed connections to snag a condo. Now, homeowners are lowering prices to sell. And it's only been a few years.
In 2023, my husband and I sold our condo in our hometown of Hefei and bought this small apartment of less than 50 square meters in Shanghai. We paid a down payment of $290, with the rest financed by a loan. What is the current value of this apartment? Out of curiosity, my husband and I checked online a few days ago and found that the same type of apartment in the same complex has seen a price drop of almost $140.
Official statistics from the Chinese Communist Party are widely questioned. Official data shows a drop of only 20%. However, observations from the public reveal a far more dire situation.
Originally priced at $1.4 million, now available for immediate move-in at $540,000. This is one of the most suitable four-bedroom apartments for a family in Shanghai. The development is located next to Jing'an Temple.
Sun Hongbin, CEO of China Sunac Real Estate Group, revealed in 2017 that if housing prices fall by 30%, all real estate companies would go bankrupt. The implication was that 30% is the bottom line for real estate companies. Now, even in Shanghai, one of China's first-tier cities, this bottom line has been breached. This signifies that China's overall economy has fallen into a terrible, vicious cycle. Real estate loans are a key part of the banking industry. As a crucial component of the real estate industry, falling housing prices expose banks to greater risks, increasing the risk of loan defaults. A large number of uncollectible loans can trigger problems in the bank's cash flow, leading to a series of financial crises. Simultaneously, upstream and downstream industries related to real estate, such as building materials, furniture, and home appliances, are impacted. Like other cities, Shanghai's local revenue heavily relies on land revenue. The sharp drop in housing prices has led to a decline in the land market's activity, resulting in a sharp reduction in local fiscal revenue. For Shanghai's middle class, who own the most properties, falling housing prices mean a shrinking of assets, affecting not only their quality of life, but also the risk of falling back into poverty.
We never imagined housing prices would fall this low. The result is exactly the same as investing in stocks. My apartment, located on Nanjing West Road in Jing'an District, the original price was $1.4 million, but now you can move in directly for $500,000.
Those working in Shanghai's real estate industry are actually panicking.
Homeowners in Shanghai, please stop drastically lowering prices. It's not us agents who are pushing down prices anymore. It's the homeowners who can't hold on any longer. Prices keep falling. Yesterday, a condo in our Songnan community sold. It was on the 5th floor, 69.9 square meters for $240. The original purchase price was $420. I don't know how anxious that homeowner is. I urge homeowners, since your homes aren't selling anyway, why not raise the prices? Raise them by 10%. Don't worry about whether buyers are willing to buy or not.
For ordinary Shanghainese, the most direct consequence is a reluctance to spend. Reduced consumption impacts the business environment, further worsening the income and job stability of employees. Also, many lose their jobs. A vicious economic cycle is thus formed.
I've been unemployed for over 6 months now. I haven't had a single interview opportunity in over 3 months. I spend 2 or 3 hours a day intensely refreshing job search apps, submitting 5 to 6 resumes daily. Small companies, big companies, high-paying positions, low-paying positions, all get the same response. No one replies. You don't even know if these job postings are real or fake. It's obvious that there are very, very few job openings on the market. The postings on job search apps are rarely updated. Secondly, the competition is extremely fierce. For one particular position at a company, at least 3 of my former colleagues applied for the same position as me. That's how terrifying the competition is. Since full-time jobs are so hard to find, I'm trying to find part-time work. Previously, I did live streaming sales. 4 years ago, the minimum wage for this kind of work was $28 an hour. Anyone would do it for less. $28 was the average wage. It didn't require any passionate performance or memorizing a lot of data. Now, $11 to $17 an hour, and some even offer $7 to $11. It's outrageous. I didn't believe it at first. I asked the brands, at this level of compensation, who would actually do this? Compared to before, it's far too little. They said, we don't lack people at all. Now, you just post a notice on social media, and 20 or 30 people will rush to grab that spot. Can you imagine? Everyone's scrambling to get it. To see the high unemployment rate in Shanghai, look at the surrounding shopping malls and libraries. Unemployed people are sitting there. Libraries, coffee shops, and milk tea shops are full of young and middle-aged people.
I'm 40 years old this year. My child is 4 years old. In Shanghai, I'm part of the middle-aged unemployed group. I've been looking for a job for several months, sending out thousands of resumes, but I still haven't found one. My goal was to find a professional job before the weather got cold. Now, I'm already wearing a sweater, and it's getting colder in Shanghai. I'm not the only middle-aged person around me who hasn't found a job. I've noticed that many of the food delivery guys on the street are young people, and many are my age. There are also people driving for ride-hailing services. So, if you still have a job, keep doing it. Once you lose your job, the daily anxiety will be immense.
The government has no effective measures. All they can do is modify or hide data. Since August 14th of this year, a search on the Shanghai Lianjia website reveals that its external website does not display the historical transaction prices of resale homes in various communities. In this information-blocked red country, many people still don't know where the problem lies or what kind of future they will face.
Take this neighborhood in Shanghai's Yangpu Inner Ring Road area, for example. Prices have fallen by 45% in 3 years. A two-bedroom condo that used to cost $420,000 can now be sold for $210,000. These properties are only 300 meters from the subway station. The number of second-hand homes listed in Shanghai has reached 360,000. It's easy to turn money into a home, but it's very difficult to sell a home and turn that money back into cash. This neighborhood in Shanghai's Jing'an district has seen a 40% drop in prices over 3 years. It's almost 2026. Do you think Shanghai's housing prices will rise or fall?
On November 8th, J.P. Morgan released a research report titled First-Tier Cities Relaxing Purchase Restrictions, pointing out that the current sentiment in China's real estate market continues to deteriorate, especially in first-tier cities. Data shows that second-hand home prices in first-tier cities have fallen by 38% from their peak and by 9% this year. If the average monthly decline of 1.6% since the third quarter continues, the annualized decline will reach 19%. In the first 3 quarters of 2025, resale housing prices in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen are expected to fall by 36% to 42% from their peak, with year-to-date declines generally between 7% and 12%. J.P. Morgan Chase believes that even a complete removal of purchase restrictions would hardly reverse the downward trend in housing prices. The report states that weak home buying intentions, urgent selling demand, and insufficient policy effectiveness have collectively led to a negative feedback loop in China's housing market.